What's going on, YouTube? We're back with another moto vlog. Today is going to be 5 things I love about my Z125 over the Grom. The 2022 Grom, to be specific. Number 1. Front suspension on the Z125 is much stiffer. Anybody who rides a Z125 and then rides a 2022 Grom, or any Grom probably for that matter, maybe the OG Groms are different, I don't know, I have never been on one. The front end of the 2022 Grom dips bad when you front brake, like it's just soft. I would highly recommend, which I plan on doing with my girlfriend's Grom, is changing the fluid in the front forks just to try to tighten it up a little bit. I know there's aftermarket stuff you can do, forks, things like that, but to save money, I'm thinking fluid is going to be the better benefit, just to stiffen it up. It's not like she's going to be out wheeling it or stunting it or anything like that, but to have a better ride feel. Like, I can stop this and it doesn't dip. If you spike the front brake on a Grom, it just nosedives, which is fine. I mean, it's a softer ride, probably not as stiff. Maybe, you know, you don't feel as many bumps possibly because of it, but I don't like my front end diving like that. I will do 5 things I hate about the 2022 Grom in my next ride, and I'll demonstrate the difference with what I mean about the front forks. Like this, I can spike the front brake, it's very even. Unlike the Grom, it just feels like the front tire, with the fluid they have in the forks from the factory, it just feels like it could wash out from you. I don't know, just me. So number 1, suspension on the Z125, in my opinion, is better. Number 2, I know everybody says the brakes are better on the Grom. The rear brake, yes. Front brake, I don't feel like there's much of a difference at all. Of course, I changed my brake lines. I don't have the rubber brake lines anymore. I went to the steel. So with that being said, stock brake pads from the factory, stock brakes, I don't have an issue with my brakes. I can stop on a dime, I can lock them up, I can do whatever I want to do. Maybe it's just experience being on a motorcycle. I've rode her Grom many times. I don't know. Maybe once hers break in a little more. I think it's only got like 60 or 70 miles on it. She don't ride that much, and I try to stay off it because I want her to break it in the way she's gonna ride. I don't want to beat her motor up. I bought it for her, it's her bike. But anyway, I have zero issue with my brakes. Again, could be because I changed my brake lines. That makes a huge difference. Or it could just simply be because I'm used to my Z125, and I know, you know how you get used to something and then you know how to get around the quirks of whatever that you're using. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe the Grom does have better brakes, but I have zero issues with my Z125 brakes. They stop on a dime if I need to. Number 3, and this is personal preference only for me, I like the analog tach better than the digital. Probably because it stems from me liking older cars, things like that. I like older motorcycles. I know some, you know, a lot of the new ones obviously have analog, but I'm not really too into the digital tach. For me personally, I just like the tach with the needle. Whatever you want to call it, analog, I don't know, I just don't like the digital tach. That's a personal preference. I prefer that over having bars go up as you're revving. I don't know. Maybe I'll get used to the whole digital thing. It's whatever. It's not a big deal for most people. There's probably 90% of riders that prefer the digital tach. I personally do not. I like the older style. Number 4, looks alone. Again, personal preference. I don't really have a reason to beat up either bike. So since I've been riding them both, it's just personal preference of what I like about the other more or less. Looks alone, I think the Z125 over the 2022 Grom just looks better. To me personally, it has a sportier look. I'm glad they haven't changed it. I did hear for 2023 they're not continuing the Z125. I don't know if they plan on revising it. I hope they don't. If they come back with it, I hope they don't go to some retro look or something. They should be able to improve even more off of the base they already have going. I love the looks of this bike. It's literally like a mini crotch rocket, whereas the 2022 Grom, it looks nice. I like it, but I don't, if that makes any sense. I do like, you know, cafe rides or cafe bikes and things like that. So I get the retro style they're going after. I do like it. It's just not as eye-catching to me as the Z125. Again, that's a personal preference. Not like it's a big deal. I just prefer the look of the Z125 over the 2022 Grom. Now the OG Grom, I dig. I really like the look of the OG Grom. They were sporty like the Z125. I feel like they should have kept going with that and just improved, but they went and took a whole nother direction with the body style, and it works. Obviously they've sold millions. I just don't think it's as eye-catching. It's too straight bodied or something. I don't know. Doesn't have the curves in it like the Z125 does. With that being said, both the Z125 and the Honda Grom have their goods and bads about the look. There's things that could improve about the Z125, and there's things I could personally improve, you know, with flush mount front turn signals, things like that, sport it up a little bit. Nothing really that a market would have to worry about doing. There are enough aftermarket things to where I could just personally make mine look better than it does right now. And number 5, and this was big for me, the rear shock on the Z125 is adjustable for stiffness. The rear shock on the 2022 Grom is not. Now, I weigh about 190 pounds. From the factory, the Z125 was okay. Wasn't bad. But I was able to go up one notch to stiffen it up a little bit with a spanner wrench, and that was nice. The Honda Grom is non-adjustable. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't feel horrible, but when you come to small bikes like this, everybody weighs different, and instead of going out and spending $200-300 on a new rear shock that's adjustable, like an Olin's, or even $400, whatever they cost, you should be able to at least adjust your rear shock for stiffness. Some riders are light, they might want it softer. Some riders like myself are a little heavier. and you might want to stiffen it up a couple notches. So that was number 5 things I like about my Z125 more than the Grom. Number 5 was really important to me because I like things to be adjustable. I don't like what a factory determines to be set, and the reality of life is people's weight changes. I might weigh 190 today, I might weigh 160 in 6 months. I might want to adjust this rear shock, and on the Grom you got to spend big money to do so, unless you can find a used one or something like that, or you can go cheap adjustable shocks. You know, you don't have to go Olin's, but, or if I'm chopping the name up, however you want to say it. But that's it. That's my number 5 list. What I like about the Z125. And it was easier for me to compare it to the 2022 Grom because I have that too. And I will be doing 5 things I hate about my Z125. And I will also be doing 2 more videos of 5 things I like about the Grom, the 2022, and 5 things I don't like. So stay tuned for those. And I hope you enjoyed this video. There's definitely more to come. And if you could, do me a favor, smash that like button. It helps my channel get noticed a little better. And subscribe. It is free. You just click the subscribe button, and it'll just help you see my content. When it gets posted up on YouTube. Again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate everybody who has subscribed. Thank you very much, and I'm glad you enjoy my content. I'm going to keep creating, keep going. Until next time, we'll see you again.